So, picture this. You're at a protest in Nigeria, ready to make your voice heard. You're thinking about your safety, especially with the possibility of tear gas. So you reach for a mask. But then a thought pops into your head. Wait, is this even allowed? That's the critical question we're breaking down today.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. We see it happening. Citizens are peacefully asking for basic things like fair elections, and they're met with force. It puts anyone who wants to exercise their rights in a really tough spot. You have to ask, how do you stand up for what's right without risking your own well-being?
All right, first up, protest meets force. Let's dig into this clash between people making their voices heard and the official response.
You know, people protest for really important reasons, whether it's demanding election integrity in Abuja or standing against housing demolitions in Lagos. This isn't just random noise, it's people actively participating in their democracy. And that right to peaceful assembly, it's a fundamental, guaranteed right. It's a big deal.
And look, this isn't just speculation. This is the documented reality on the ground. Human rights organizations and news reports have confirmed it time and again. Tactics like tear gas, arrests, and breaking up crowds, even peaceful ones, are used. It's a clear, established pattern.
So, with that being the reality, it leads to a very practical and pretty urgent question for anyone thinking about joining a protest.
It's a simple question we'd all ask, right? If you know that tear gas is a real possibility, your first instinct is going to be, okay, how do I keep myself safe? It's just basic self-preservation.
And that brings us to the core legal question we're tackling. Can you actually wear a protective mask, an N95, a respirator, or something similar, to shield yourself from chemical irritants without finding yourself on the wrong side of the law?
So, what does the law actually say about all this? Let's get right into your right to protect yourself.
Okay, let's not beat around the bush. The short and simple answer is yes. Based on Nigeria's current laws, wearing a protective mask for your own safety during a protest is absolutely lawful. The law is on your side. Now let's unpack the legal reasoning behind that. It all starts right here, with the highest law in the land. Section 40 of the Constitution is the bedrock. It guarantees the right to peaceful assembly. This is the foundation that everything else is built on.
And it's not just the Constitution, which is huge on its own. Nigeria is also part of international human rights treaties that protect this right. But here's the real kicker. There is no specific law in Nigeria, not a single one, that prohibits you from wearing a mask for your own protection at a protest.
This is a really important distinction to make. Some countries have passed specific anti-mask laws, making it a crime to cover your face at a protest. Nigeria simply does not have a law like that. The legal system here understands the difference between protecting your lungs and hiding your identity to commit a crime.
Okay, so we've established the law is on your side. That's great. But knowing the law and knowing what to do in the heat of the moment, well, those are two different things. Let's talk about the reality on the ground.
Now, here is a critical piece of advice from protest safety experts. If you see law enforcement officers start putting on their own gas masks, that is a signal. It's not a routine action. It's a clear sign that things are about to change.
This sequence is pretty predictable, and knowing it is crucial for your safety. When the police mask up, they're getting ready to disperse the crowd by force. That means tear gas is very, very likely to be deployed next. Your safest move in that moment is to calmly get yourself out of the area before it happens. So you know your rights, and you know the risks. How do you put all of that knowledge together? Let's go over some of the best practices for protesting both safely and legally.
All right, let's talk about the do's. First and foremost, staying peaceful is non-negotiable. Documenting what you see can create an important record, and pay close attention to this one. Use civilian-style masks. We're talking about an N95 or an industrial respirator. The reason is simple. They are clearly for safety.
And just as important are the things to avoid. Any kind of violence or property damage just gives the authorities justification for a forceful response. The goal is to make sure that none of your actions, right down to your choice of mask, can be spun to look like you're being provocative or militant.
Okay, now let's zoom out from the practical advice and connect this back to the bigger picture. What does this all mean for the health of the country's civic space?
Because, the right to protest isn't just some abstract idea in a law book. As Amnesty International says, it's a powerful tool for speaking truth to power. Throughout history, protest has been the engine behind huge social change. It's how citizens hold power accountable. So, ultimately, this is about way more than just one person's right to wear a mask. When citizens can assemble and voice their concerns without fearing for their safety, well, that's a sign of a healthy democracy. Protecting the protester is essential for protecting that democratic space.
And we'll leave you with this thought to ponder. When the simple act of speaking out in public requires you to prepare for a chemical irritant, it raises a profound question about transparency and accountability. Who is truly hiding?